while I was at Loma Linda, I became the professor and chairman of cardiothoracic surgery, and I became very famous for operating on people who basically were hopeless. They had no options. And there were a bunch of us around the country that people would literally do a tour. And the Mayo Clinic, Columbia, Texas Heart Institute, Stanford, just to name a few. And they'd go with these inoperable situations and present their case to an idiot surgeon like myself, and one or more of us would say, yeah, okay, I'll take you on. So about almost 30 years ago now, I met a guy who I call Big Ed in all my books. And Big Ed was 48 years old from Miami, Florida. He had inoperable coronary artery disease. What does that mean? It means that all his blood vessels were clogged up in his heart. You couldn't put stents in them because there were just too many clogs. You couldn't do bypasses because there wasn't any place to bypass to because it was clogged. And Big Ed had been going around to various places for 6 months, and everywhere he went, he'd carry his angiogram, the movie of his heart, from Miami, and everybody'd look at it, yeah, good luck with that. I can't help you. So this guy arrives in my office, and I'm looking at his angiogram from 6 months earlier from Miami. And I go, I agree with everybody else. I just can't help you. There's nothing here to work with. And he says, yeah, I know. That's what everybody said. But let me tell you what I've been up to. In 6 months, I went on a diet, and I've lost 45 pounds. Now, this guy was 285 pounds when I met him. So he was well over 300 pounds when he started. And I went to a health food store, and I've been taking supplements. And he literally brings in a shopping bag full of supplements. And he says, maybe I did something in here. And I'm stroking my professor beard and going, well, good for you for losing weight, but that's not going to do anything. And I know what you did with all those supplements. You made expensive urine, which I firmly believe. And he sighs and he says, yeah, okay, but I've come all this way. What would it hurt to do another cardiac catherization, get another angiogram? And I'm rolling my eyes and I say, okay. So we do an angiogram. And in 6 months' time, this guy has cleaned out 50% of the blockages in his heart. Now, that's impossible. How do I know? Because I've never seen it happen. And I'm pretty famous at this. But there I am staring at it. So I actually say, oh my gosh, I can do a bypass on you. In fact, I did a 5-vessel bypass. If I knew what I know today, I would have never even done the bypass on him. I'd go, good for you, let's keep going. But I didn't know that. So after we were done, I said, tell me about this diet. And let me look at those supplements. So he starts telling me about what he was eating. And he gets a little bit into it, and I go, time out. Back when I went to Yale, in the dark ages, we could design our own major. And I had a major in human evolutionary biology, and I had to defend a thesis. And my thesis was you could take a great ape, change their environment, change their food supply, and prove you derive at a human being. And I actually defended my thesis. I got an honors, and I gave it to my parents and went off to become a famous heart surgeon. And as Big Ed's talking, I'm going, oh my gosh, that's my thesis. Hi, this is Dr. Stephen Gundry. Come to Gundry Health and find out how we treat leaky gut and autoimmune disease.